or religious community or educational community to be on the same page, making sure that they understood what we were facing and how we face it together as a community. It resulted in Broward County has having a lower debt rate from COVID than Palm Beach or Miami-Dade County during my tenure, less per capita, and actually less than Palm Beach County that has 500,000 more people. Again, it's about bringing the community together to provide the kind of leadership that's necessary to move our community forward. Because when we're united, when we work together, we're better off for it.
And you know, a lot of people will or can go on the website and see a lot of your initiatives.
Yes, Holness for Congress.
Yes, because there's a lot, right?
Yes.
There's a lot.
Too much for me to tell you in this little session right
So
here.
what I'm gonna do is I want you to break it down for, like, if you were talking to a fifth grader, right?
Yes.
3 questions.
Yeah.
What made you want to run for youth? I mean, because you can be endorsed. That doesn't mean that you want to run,
Yes.
right? So you woke up one morning and said, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Okay, and then what other things do you feel like you have on your opponent? And not slander, but I mean, if I'm choosing between you and the other person, what would you tell your voters? Why should they vote for you?
18 years experience of delivering on the promises that I made. Documented. Not just talk, not just promises, not a lot of fancy speech and fast talk, but real results. Started a Chamber of Commerce to help our small business, build a business incubator as a leader, a founding member of the Black Chamber of Commerce, building a system to help our businesses in America sell more to the rest of the world, that won a presidential award that dates back to Kennedy 62. We got that in 2019 because of what I did through Florida's International Trade and Cultural Expo, the largest trade event in the world. We're now looking to build World Trade Center Fort Lauderdale as an output from that. That's huge. That's economic growth. And we in America do well. But let me tell you, we can't overlook selling our stuff to the rest of the world. China is selling it. A lot of stuff. Other countries are doing it. We ought to make sure that our businesses are prepared to do that also. That's a part of that economic growth, because entrepreneurship is what has driven this country to the wealth that it has. People willing to take the time to work 16, 18, 20 hours, 24 hours if need be, so that they can build something for themselves and their family. We need to reward it, and we need to make sure minority communities are really engaged in that process to change the trajectory of poverty, unemployment, and a lot of misery that exists within our community. So experiences, delivering real results, not making promises, but delivering on what I promised. And there's a track record. You go to my website at holnessforcongress.com, you'll see that I'm a very strong Democrat. We talked earlier about Andrew Gillum. I led the charge for him in South Florida. Okay, we built those signs with his face on it. I designed it. Okay, I've helped Jesse Jackson's 84, 88 campaign, Bill Clinton's place to operate for a call center in Broward County was my office. Barack Obama's first place to operate in Broward County 24/7 was my office. Okay, when the interns came in from the DEC office, the Democratic Executive Committee office, when they closed at 5, and they were there until 12, 1 o'clock in the night, I decided to give them keys so they had full access. And anyone who knows in South Florida, you know that I've carried all the statewide candidates, governors, senators for years, being at the forefront of moving an agenda for the Democratic Party, because I believe the Democratic values for equity and equality and fairness and justice is something that we ought to stand for. Not the stuff that the Republicans are doing now. It's shameful what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They are. With January 6th, with all the hateful things that they've put out, dividing the communities, making immigrants evil people, making one group evil, that's not a good thing at all for a nation. Utilizing cultural division to win election. It's about building a place for all of us to prosper and enjoy life.
That's true. I think what Andre says, how do we change the voice of minority voting failures? Do you know how to answer that?
How do we change the voice
of minority voting failures?
I am not sure I understand clearly where she's going with that, but let me say this.
We need to vote. I know that. I know it's going blank period. I don't know if that's the question.
I think what she's probably saying is, why don't we vote more?
It's a guy.
Or what he's saying is, why don't we vote more?
Yes. And
I think people need to understand how it impacts their life.
Yeah.